What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Low Key Cave YouTube channel, aka Mr. Low Key. And we back with another movie review. As you can see, I'm still getting some things done with my setup, and your boy at work still doing reviews or whatever, but hey, we're gonna work through it. Outside of that, just be patient with me. I got my equipment and stuff getting put together, and I got some stuff that I'm gonna do as far as my setup. But anyway, we are back with another movie review, and we are doing Long Legs. It was a lot of hype surrounding this movie, and I'm not even gonna front. I didn't go into this with those expectations because I know how marketing is, especially with the nowadays and the way they do horror movies. Talking about people was vomiting in the theater, it's just a bunch of extra shit they started to add on with layers to certain horror films. With this one though, it did kind of get my curiosity because I started just seeing so many rave reviews before the movie even came out. Like, I mean, this shit was like months ago. Not months ago, but probably about weeks ago, and some probably about a month and a half ago, where it was just a lot of heavy promotion behind this. And that's one thing I will give Neon credit for, because I know that's the film and distribution or the studio that put this movie out or whatever. But it was a lot of heavy promotion behind this movie, and more so Nicolas Cage. The whole thing with not showing how he's going to look in the movie or whatever. So it did get my curiosity, and I was like, I want to check this out. Not only that, the whole premise or the whole just way it looks pretty much based off Silence of the Lambs. I mean, this whole movie seemed like they were promoting it by this is the new Silence of the Lambs. So going into this, man, we got this detective named Lee Harper or Lee Harker. Hope I'm saying her name right. But she's somewhat of a new FBI agent, and she has this kind of thing. I don't know if you want to call it like a what they call it, like a Miss Cleo type of thing, where she like not psychic, but she kind of, I guess, can predict certain things, or she knows certain things before they're about to happen, and that really takes effect in the opening scene to this movie. And I seen this shit coming, and it's a lot of things I do see coming in this movie because, like I said, I'm fans of the kind of movies that this based off of, and I would say it was more so Zodiac, Seven, and heavily Silence of the Lambs. So, getting this opening, we do get an opening with Nicolas Cage character at first, as far as Long Legs, and I ain't gonna front, man. Even throughout the movie, yeah, outside of the makeup and shit, this is Nicolas Cage, bro. Like, I seen what y'all was trying to go for, even with Nicolas Cage and his performance or whatever, and trying to pull off this whole scary persona or whatever, even creepy factors or whatever. And it's elements of creepiness throughout the movie. It's just not with Nicolas Cage and his character. Y'all would kill me with this shit. Like, bro, it was at times that I was about to start laughing, and I did laugh as far as the way he was acting and the shit he was doing. Like, it's a scene in here where he started singing and shit, and I was sitting here like, bro, if y'all supposed to have me scared, or am I supposed to be creeped out, afraid for whoever he was talking to? No, I'm good. Like, I appreciate what they're trying to do with this character, but Nicolas Cage definitely throws a lot of that Nicolas Cage into it. And it's at moments where he kind of is pulling it off, but this whole thing with hiding him behind the makeup and not showing him in the trailer, by the way, which is good promotion, it's very good promotion. Nah, it didn't do nothing for me. Like I said, when you got performances by people like Kevin Spacey, who was an asshole, fuck Kevin Spacey, but still in that movie Seven, where we don't even get him throughout that movie until the end, and he ain't yelling and shit. It's just his calm demeanor and the way he explaining how he chopped off this man's wife's head and put it in a box. And it's the calmness. That's creepy. Anthony Hawkins, motherfucking Hannibal Lecter, the first Silence of the Lambs, and him giving his commentary to Clarice, the way his look, just the way he was looking without any prosthetics or anything, that's creepy. That's all I'm saying. Not saying Nicolas Cage couldn't do it, but maybe if he would have had somebody come in there and put some little extra layers of writing to kind of ease it on down a little bit, it might have worked. I mean, look at Ethan Hawke in The Black Phone, which is the movie I don't really like that, but look at that performance and the way he's pulling off creepiness. That's how you pull off creepiness. This ain't it. This movie got some creepy elements to it, but it just ain't Nicolas Cage and who they trying to push off on us. And by the way, he's not really in the movie a lot, but he's in it enough. And he does have one scene that kind of takes it up a notch without him saying shit. It's a very violent scene, but it was like, oh, okay, there we go. It's some good side performances in here. Shout out to Blair Underwood. I didn't know he was in this, and he has a really good performance too. As far as the overall story, I just feel like it's a lot of shit you've seen coming. They do try to do some kind of original and new, but they just don't linger on it long enough, or they don't flesh it out enough for us to like get a better understanding of it, or for us to really care enough about that situation, in my opinion anyway. But as far as the execution, it was like I kind of seen some of this coming, but on the other sense, it was like okay, I see what y'all doing. But it was that whole thing with what they did with it wasn't really a mystery as far as finding out who the killer was in Silence of the Lambs. We knew it was, but it was that setup, it was that build up. And even with that ending where we got the FBI agents surrounding the house as far as Silence of the Lambs, and then it's Clarice who actually shows up the actual killer's house. That's how you do this shit. Not saying this film wasn't able to execute it, but I feel like they was taking so many elements from these other movies that I think they was not really sure how to come up with their own idea as far as landing going towards the end, because the ending started to get like, okay, what the fuck are we about to do with this? Where are we going? And I liked the little mystery, which I feel like it was out throughout the film, but then they added this extra little layer of mystery towards the end where you're like, oh, so it might be something else going on, or other. I don't want to give them too much away, so I want people to go in still with a fresh eyes as far as this movie, because you could be surprised by the end of this movie. What I will say is definitely not the scariest movie of the decade, as far as even serial killer movies, not even close in my opinion, because it's so many other movies that's done this way better, and it's the fact that this is kind of similar to those other movies, but they was better. Outside of Nicolas Cage's performance, I feel like he has some moments, but it's so much of him outside of the makeup that you see right through that shit, in my opinion. But anyway, y'all let me know how y'all feeling about Longlegs. Do y'all feel like it was the scariest serial killer movie of the decade? Do y'all feel like this is the new Silence of the Lambs? I don't. Y'all let me know, man. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe.